Welcome back to a brand new Civ 6 or Civilization 6 deity video, and I've decided to take a break from trying to discover my 13th reason by going and playing the hardest starts I can think of to just come up with a first 50 turns, mastering the first 50 turns type of guide. In this video, I'm just going to be playing the first 50 turns on deity. As always, leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy. It does help out the channel a ton, and you won't miss out on future content. And we even have a Discord. That's right, I finally did it after like 18 years or whatever long it's been. And we already got people like Jared causing mayhem, so if you don't want to miss out on that good time, then come join the Discord link down below in the pinned comment. We are going to use some mods, of course. None of these are going to be too crazy, just quality of life ones. If you're that type of realist, a purist, a naturalist, the type of guy who decides to forego the vaccine in favor of herbs, then you can suck my left titty because I'm using all these fucking mods. So let's go ahead and get started with the first settler. We are playing Christina of Sweden. No, I did not choose her. You would have caught me dead if that were the case. But yeah, if we could win the first 50 turns with Sweden, then you could do it with pretty much everybody. She is absolute dog shit until the Renaissance era, and even then, not exactly the best civs. I wouldn't be exactly hedging my bets on her, considering the fact she can't even use a curling iron properly. Got about half her hair before she decided, that's good enough, let me get back to my book. In any case, where do you settle that first settler? Now, for the more astute of you, you might realize that my start rhymes with dancer, and it's not looking too good right now. We got an active volcano over here trying to turn us into the next Pompeii. We got a huge desert system towards the north, drier than a non-CivLifeR subscriber's wife. If I take 3 or 4 turns, I could probably find a good place to settle, but aside from that, we're kind of shit out of luck right now, and to that I say, no. We're gonna go ahead and settle right on top of that incest tile. Just go ahead and get your tongue all the way inside your sister. That came out completely fucking wrong, but you guys get the gist of it. The reason I did that is because we start with one faith automatically, and trying to get religious settlements is absolutely huge, so going for these extra faith type of things is probably the best idea. What you else could have done, you could have settled on this volcano and gotten the 2-2 tile. You could have settled over here and gotten another 2-2 tile, although you would have had to take a couple turns to do it. But I decided to do this one because not too many times you're going to get faith. If I do get religious settlements, I'm probably not going to take it though, because again, that's once in a blue moon type of thing. It's like getting a Christmas present when your family's on food stamps, bro. It's not going to happen too often. So I don't think I'm going to make it my type of, I guess, prerogative or whatever. If I do get religious settlements, I'm going to skip out on it. Now, when it comes to your early build order, it really does depend on what the hell you want to do. You want to go ahead and make Stalin look like an upstanding citizen. You're going to want to go bronze working, iron working, build some units, and then go after your nearest neighbor. Now, alternatively, if you want to beat out Einstein for a Nobel Prize, going for writing early on could be to your advantage, but when it comes to my early tech order, I understand that on deity, my asshole is pretty much open for business to the AI, and anyone who comes close, it's pretty much open season. It's like being the only sock in a room of a horned up 15-year-old boy who hasn't touched his dick in months. It's not going to end well for you. In any case, what I'm going to do over here is I am going to go almost always archery in the beginning, unless I know there's no other civs nearby, only because that with archery and a couple archers, you can fend off the hordes of barbarians. I'm talking about if the Germans had archers in Stalingrad, they would have mopped the floor with the Russians. That's how powerful they are. After that, I like looking around my general vicinity. What luxuries, bonuses, resources do I need? Over here, we need irrigation. We got lots of mines. We got a little incest. We got some stuff to chop. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to go archery. We're going to go mining after that, into irrigation, into writing, get a nice early campus, and obviously that all goes out the window if another civ starts like over here. In that case, I'm going to be going for swordsman, and then I'm going to be going for a swordsman rush and committing atrocities. When it comes to the early build order, a lot of people recommend building scouts. Check out my last video on why scouts are actually literally useless in Civilization 6. You'd be better off trying to use a douchebag to brush your teeth, in all honesty. I'm going to skip out on the scout as always. I like going slinger into warrior into monument. I usually do go for monument, settler, and then slinger, settler, but we can't like place the settler right now because we don't have enough population. First, we're going to have to revoke Roe vs. Wade again before banning every form of contraceptive, including the clothes hanger and the clothesline methods. After our population skyrockets, then we can build some settlers and send them out towards the wilderness. We also got some tea towards the northwest, so I'm hoping we don't meet the British out here. Don't want to have to go into rehab. And yeah, we do meet our first city-state. That's Singapore. Some production. Nothing too crazy here. Don't want to have to restart, so hoping I don't end up getting too good of a start. And just looking at that, I think I absolutely ejaculated my pants right now. This over here is an absolutely beautiful location. We also get another continent right now. We got 3 of them right now. We got Gondwana, we got Micropenis, and Novopangaea. We'll go ahead and hit next turn again. We're pretty much just exploring with this warrior. There's Mother Russia. We got Wario leading the Russian Empire right now, and he's got St. Petersburg all the way over there. So it's pretty nice. I think I am actually going to go for the early war I was talking about. So go archery into bronze bronze working into iron working and try to take out the Russians. The good thing about Russia is they almost always decide to go for the early district as he punches his fists in and looks at me with the scorn he gives to Mario and Luigi, which isn't looking too good for me. But yeah, essentially the thing with the Russians is the fact that they like getting their early district, and when they do go ahead and go for their astrology with Lavras, they're not going to be in the lower end of the tech tree getting walls and units and all that good stuff. I'm going to send the Slinger down south to go explore the jungle. Hope we don't run into the Vietnamese. Speaking of which, it seems we have met their children. The Americans are to our south. We're just getting spit roasted right now, it seems, in this game. When you're in this situation, you do want to just go ahead and get a military early because the AI will almost always declare war on you in this situation. In this case, I think going after Bull Moose Teddy first is probably the smarter idea because he can't snowball out of control and he's right on our doorstep. Now we get Code of Laws, and when it comes to the civic tree, you almost always want to go to Discipline to take out barbarians, and you'll want to go God King as well to help you get more gold and get an early Pantheon faster. When it comes to civics right now, the best place to go is to go for early Empire to get the colonization policy card, and then go for political philosophy to get oligarchy or classical republic, depending on if you're going for an early war or not. You're going to go ahead and move that warrior up north. You're going to go ahead and move down south. Before we continue, I found exclusive footage of 2 TheCivLifeR subscribers duking it out. As you can see here, when these two fight, tectonic plates shift, and they even start flying, as you can observe. So subscribe and hit the bell to not only get a chiseled Greek god body and 6 inches where it matters, but 2, more importantly, not miss out on future content. And this is pretty much as good a start as you're going to get in this scenario. We do obviously have to deal with Teddy, which is going to be pretty unfortunate, and we do have some horses nearby, so I guess we could go for a horseman rush. But the problem with horseman rushes is the fact that when the AI ends up building walls, you're pretty much useless since horses can't use battering rams and catapults or wet farts in the early game. So really your best bet is to go for ironworking and try to get a couple swordsmen in order to make progress. Now when it comes to settling your next city, I recommend settling it as close to your first target as possible, else try to settle it as far away as you possibly can, because the problem with that is if you do wait a while and the AI ends up snagging up these spots, they're going to continuously push loyalty pressure and have it so that they sort of lock you in a little bit. So if I was moving towards Russia, I would try to settle over here or over here just to get a little bit of a population increase in order for me to get bigger population in order to sort of counteract any loyalty pressure they might have. So go ahead, we'll hit next turn. The Russians don't like me because I'm apparently starving right now, and I don't like that one bit, so they're going to be our next target. You get 20 faith, which would have helped us out about 20 turns ago, you absolute scumbags. And the good news is we are hopefully going to be able to snag this encampment right there and meet the Canadians as well. What's up, Wilfred Laurier? I'm surprised the Americans have let you live. Are you a bitch in this universe as well to them? We get pantheons, and we weren't able to get religious settlements. I wouldn't have done it anyways. So when it comes to your first pantheons, there are a lot of really good options, but a lot of it really depends on your starting location. We could go Lady of the Reeds and Marshes if we had like a lot of marshes nearby. Got to the sea if we had some boats nearby. Got to the pastures if we had the pastures. You get the thing. When it comes to a sort of all-around type of thing, you really got 2. Fertility Rites or God of the Forge, or even City Patron Goddess. I'm going to skip out on City Patron Goddess because I'm really not focusing on districts early on. We could go either Fertility Rites or God of the Forge because we are going to be going for an early conflict. I am probably going to go for Fertility Rites because I'm not really starving for production, and getting an early builder to end up working iron is going to be my best possible scenario. Now, the way you could sort of find if you are going to spawn near iron, I guess, is all these hills without forests or hills or anything else on top of them. Yes, hills on hills, that makes fucking sense. When they have anything on top of them, then no resources can spawn. However, if there's nothing on top of them, then there's a decent chance that iron is going to spawn on top of them. Looking at all these hills right now, absolutely dummy thick right now, just the amount of hills I have, then I think it's safe to say that we are going to go ahead and get some sort of iron resource nearby. Governor title-wise, when it comes to your first governors, I do recommend going Magnus just to get the provision so when you build a settler, you don't consume population. Early secret societies aren't really needed, I guess. You know, getting something like an extra economic slot is nice, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather have somebody like Magnus in order for me to get the extra population. Something else you could do is if you have multiple envoy city-states like I do right now, you could go ahead and get Amani just to, you know, sweeten the pot a little bit, get those extra 2 envoys, and they'll sell their maps for them. Pretty much just get Amani to start an OnlyFans, get these guys to subscribe to them, and then steal their information over the internet, which you can't do with NordVPN, the sponsor for today's video. I'm just fucking kidding. I'm not big enough to be sponsored. You guys really fucking thought. In any case, the Americans, I thought they were denouncing me though, although I didn't have oil, so I was confused a little bit. But it does seem like I did jump the gun a little bit. Keep this warrior fortified. We're going to try to, actually, I think I'm going to try to declare war on Teddy for that 3 settler. You stay asleep. And, yeah, there's Nazca, but the second Teddy comes over here, and the second I can one-shot him, I think I will, just solely for the fact that I really don't want him to end up, settling that settler before I do. There's the monument coming in. We will go ahead and get started on the settler, as well as continuing to play keep away with Teddy. But next turn right now, it's kind of unfortunate what Canada's doing. You can suck my dick. We'll go ahead and move you over there. You stay fortified, you stay fortified. He's going to continue moving down south, and we are going to continue building the fucking wall. Trump should have hired me, and he would have gotten that shit built lickety-split. And, yeah, we just got this guy running around over here. We're probably going to wait until he either gets bored and pisses off, or until we can actually one-shot him, which really isn't looking too good, considering the fact that I'd probably probably just end up killing myself if I moved up onto him. In any case, we do have a barbarian scout up north. Pretty nice. I'll teach you guys how to deal with barbarians as well. And, yeah, keep away's going pretty good with Teddy. Feels like I'm playing Ring Around the Rosie right now, pocket full of posies. And, what I could do, though... that's a mountain tile. We could trap him. He'd probably just settle that city, though. I would trap him up there and then, like, wait till I could seal a settler, but he could settle that city. I think, yeah, he could settle that city, and that right there would be a little unfortunate, so I'm not going to do that. We're going to hit next turn again. We get mining soon as well. After that, we are going to get bronze working. We do need to kill 3 barbarians. I do recommend getting all those Eurekas as early as possible if you can. But in essence, if you can't, then that's fine. So just a quick little recap. We got our early Pantheon. A lot of the times I like going for builders or mines, and we did go for the early build order. The first one was to get archers early on, just to build some sort of early defense and get some of the luxury ones. But considering that America did start extremely near us, like right beside us, like I could feel their dick through my ass crack, that's how close we were, then we did have to sort of switch faces and go for bronze working into iron working in order to take them out immediately, because else we're not going to have enough cities to settle. Now, when it comes to the settlers we are coming out with, I do recommend with the settling strategy to settle as many cities as possible. It doesn't really matter, at least in Civilization 6. It's not like Civ 5, where, you know, playing tall was the way to go, because in Civilization 6, the biggest thing you're going to get out of cities is districts, and you can only have 1 per city, no matter how godly and how eye burnt when looking at it this district or city is, you can only have 1 of it. So because of that, my strategy is pretty much to just snatch up as many cities as we possibly can. Obviously, do look for the best locations. Like that sugar tile right there is giving me an aneurysm, so you're going to go ahead and settle that right over there. Afterwards, you move a little bit to the west, and you're just going to try to fill in as many places as is possible. Also, try to get something like, if you can, desert, although that's not going to work out over there. Getting something like the Petra in the mid to late game is absolutely huge, and just like that, that's a beautiful Petra location. And then we could have another support city over there that does have some good tiles. Just like that, we have like 6 potential cities. It's going to be eventually 7 of them, but I do have to end up taking out the Russians, who do seem to be going for walls, so I am going to have to wait till the medieval era in order to do that. But yeah, the best way to settle cities is, of course, going out and taking out enemy civilizations. The reason for that is simple. The AI gets such a huge bonus on deity that ending up, of course, as we settle over there... Yeah, the AI ends up getting such a huge bonus when it comes to deity difficulty that ending up just taking their cities instead of settling cities, I guess, is probably better, because they are going to end up building builders, they are end up going to building districts and stuff like that, like they do right there, and stealing their territory is a lot better than, I guess, building shit for yourself. What I'm trying to say right now is robbery is the best thing you can do in Civilization, and it isn't wrong if it furthers your goals of world domination. In any case, you're going to stay there, you're going to stay there. He really can't do shit here anymore, so I'm really fine with letting him live. And build some units in these cities. Warriors and archers are what we're going to go for, because we do need iron as well as iron working in order for us to make a little bit of progress. We're going to move this slinger up north, and just like that, we are going to go ahead and hit next turn again. Now, you are going to hit next turn. They did end up taking that horseman for me, so I can't really boost bronze working anytime soon, unless I find the barbarians decided to just spawn anything up there, which I highly doubt at this point. In any case, the next best thing to do is to build another settler after getting the next unit, and with 3 cities by around turn 60, that's pretty solid for an early start. Obviously, getting 10 cities by turn 100 is 100% going to be the goal, of course. Ancient Era ends in 4 turns. You're going to move up there. We do get another wonder. Stonehenge has been founded. And with Early Empire now, we can go colonization in order to get double production boost towards our settlers, which is huge. Like I said, we're going to go provision with madness so we don't end up wasting any population points in Stockholm when we do build settlers. I'm going to try to find that barbarian encampment. I doubt America comes after me this early on, but we could probably get Canada to join a formal war if they do decide to come after us. Let's go ahead and move up there. There's the classical era. Again, if you're behind super when it comes to science and culture, don't worry about it. It always happens in the early game. And if the enemy does get a golden age, things get difficult with conquest, but in our case, America didn't, so we did get lucky with that. We are going to go free inquiry. You can choose whichever one fits your agenda, I guess, whether you want to build districts, get eurekas, or inspirations. Although, in my opinion, it really, in the early game, if you're just doing what I do, it doesn't matter for the most part whether you get a golden age or not, because at the end of the day, once you do end up taking some civs like I'm going to, then you will eventually have all the strength you need to get a golden age. Now, as you can see, my luck is absolutely fucking rotten right now. I feel like an Irishman during an English conquest. There's no luck whatsoever. We're going to go ahead and, I think, settle right on top of that. 1, 2, 3, we're actually going to go ahead and settle that city with our next settler. What you can do right now is you can trade your luxury away. I do recommend doing that in order to get a huge amount of gold. The reason for that is you can also almost immediately get yourselves another settler if you can. And just like that, by trading away the rights to our open borders with Canada, we could go ahead and get another settler and send him immediately there along with the builder in order for us to get as much iron as possible. Now, when it comes to settling strategic resources, you can settle and then get the boost to ironworking, which does require you to build an iron mine. But since we have 2 iron tiles in this general vicinity, I'm going to go ahead and put the city right there. I'll buy up to here and end up getting 2 iron for the price of 1, so we can get as much iron as possible to upgrade our units as fast as possible. We have 3 warriors. That should be more than enough, especially with a couple of archers and slingers. So we are going to start moving these guys down south. You can start moving up there. Hope barbarians don't come out of nowhere and just RKO us or something. We are already halfway through the game. It is turn 52 for this guide at least. And when it comes to your second city, I do recommend just building units if you can and upgrading them. The more units you have, the easier it is going to be to end up taking out the enemy. And if you can end up getting 3 or 4 cities from a civ who's already near the top of the science charts like Teddy is, you're pretty much set for the rest of the game. So that's pretty much going to be the goal. You're going to move down there, you are going to move up there, and you'll move up there. And I think I'm going to move this guy up over here as well, just to ensure that we don't really end up having any sort of barbarian problems, I guess. The thing you also want to worry about is natural disasters with units like settlers. When doing that, you sort of want to make sure you don't end your turn on like these floodplains type of tiles, because if it floods, there's a chance that your settler is going to die, which is exactly, you're just going to want to just punch the damn air right now. Just probably, that probably right there would be the 13th reason if we're being quite honest. But yeah, we are about to get our 4th city by, I'd say, around turn 60 probably. That is one of the benefits of using money to buy settlers, of course. Whoring yourself out is good if, again, it ends up advancing your world domination conquest plans. We are going to get our 4th city right there, going to be Uppsala, up yours I say, get this with them, and then we are going to end up waiting in order to buy some of that iron tiles. There's some gold, that ended up working out a lot better than I thought. And after getting 90 gold, we'll get that iron, and hopefully we'll be able to upgrade our units soon. Now, another thing you could do for domination is you can build encampments to get generals, but I really don't recommend, I'm not going to do that, I don't think, because A, it'll make things a lot harder, so I guess I can show you that even if I fail, my plan still works, and B, at this situation, you are going to want to try to get as many settlers as possible. Again, do the plan I did, try to settle as furthest as you can, I guess, in order to prevent the AI from stealing any of your city spots. And then in these other cities, you are going to want to start with the monument most of the time, just to get as much culture and the early political philosophy as well. You're going to move there, you're going to move there, and I'm also going to bring my warrior down here as we get the fucking Mormons coming out of nowhere, asking me if I heard of their Lord and Savior, so that's going to be an issue. We pretty much can't do anything about that when it comes to religion. I don't really think anyone likely wins a religious victory, if that makes any sense. Like, it's really hard for the AI. Okay, yeah, just like that. If you get a flood like that, if just the drip is too hard and drip drill comes out of nowhere and floods your entire vicinity like that, and you end up losing the settler, you got no one to blame but yourself, alright? We did get lucky in this situation, so we are going to continue moving up the settler. There we go. We're going to move in here, and dear fucking Neptune, what the hell is this? Is this the God Petra location? It is the God Petra location, isn't it? Sorry, Russia, you can have that useless land to yourself. We're going to be settling our Petra city over here. We're going to settle him probably just right on top of there, just because it's near some fresh water and it is near some non-desert tiles, so we can actually get the Petra as soon as we possibly can. Getting the Petra early on is a huge boon if you have lots of hills nearby, just because of the fact that those tiles become absolutely godlike and can help carry your game. Gonna hit next turn. Canada's settler is... Oh, it seems like he's gonna get there first. I'll continue moving, but it does seem like Canada's gotten to that location before I did, unfortunately. Not really much to be done in this situation. We could try to settle there if he is an absolute idiot, but I highly doubt he's going to give up a prime opportunity like that. I will trade away some iron here just so I can get enough to get the ironworking thing boosted, only because I do need some extra iron sword. Well, I probably don't need to get it boosted, but getting it boosted will speed things up quite a little bit, especially if I can build a couple swordsmen in Stockholm. Start moving these guys back. He actually moved, which is good. I don't know if I should risk it or not. You know what? Fuck you. I'm going to risk it, Canada. I'm going to risk settling that location, even if he could probably just get it immediately in one turn. Everyone's going to come home and prepare in order for us to take out America. And it does seem like he did have that settler looking absolutely submissive and breedable. I do recommend taking out settlers 99% of the time, except in this case it is Canada, so I can't get a surprise war going on because of his special ability. So that is a little unfortunate. We'll get that going on right there, and I think over here we will continue trading iron to Canada in order for us to probably honestly just upgrade the slinger to an archer at this point, just in order for us to get an early start on going after America. After that, we are going to take Amani just to try to get an early suzerainship with Mexico City. The reason I am going to do that, even though it feels like they weren't getting attacked, it was them just getting flooded out by Driptro again. But then we have another city-state to help us on the American front. You're going to move there and stay fortified, as are you. We got about 3 archers and 3 warriors right now, so what I think the best plan to do right now is to declare war on them the second we get Mexico City as a suzerain. The reason I am doing that is because with these archers, I can absolutely decimate their units as they come after me before going after them, if that makes any sense. We do get swordsmen soon, so I am going to keep a couple of these guys just to get upgraded, and then the rest of these archers can prepare to go. In 3 turns, Mexico City is going to be ours, and then we'll start the war with Baltimore. Turn 67 right now, we have about 5 cities, so we sort of are on pace for our 10 cities by turn 100, which is exactly what I like to do. In any case, we're just going to go ahead and hit next turn. We'll get some horse tiles nearby as well, which would be useful for a horse rush. Again, if you do it early enough, it can work, but like in this situation, I would have nothing to tear down the walls of Baltimore, and it would just be a waste of unit production. In any case, there is our next settler. I am going to go ahead and settle him probably over here, actually, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this settler over here. This next settler can come over there, and then over here, I think I'm going to Unga Bunga Monkey Noise is going to grab this city up over there. I think that'll sort of give us the most possible cities, which is exactly what we need. Next up in this city, again, I'm now going to go for the government plaza. You can place your districts if you want. I really don't want to. I'm getting kind of lazy right now, but placing your district, especially with the better map tax mod, is going to help out dramatically. Although, again, it does take a while, and for the most part, I just like leaving things commando or something, but you could definitely do something like that if you wanted to. Then over there, we could have like a campus or something, and then we could have like a commercial hub over there, and then from there, we could have like an entertainment complex or something, just to help to get the adjacencies up or something. In any case, we'll hit next turn. The reason I went for the government plaza is after political philosophy. I can go ahead and get Ancestral Hall, which will give every city settled a free builder, which is huge. Now with Mexico City on our side, I am immediately going to declare a formal war on America, who seems to be at war with someone else, and this is where the Big Mac strat comes in. With it, you want to spit roast the AI, penetrate him from one side, while another AI attacks from another. In any case, I don't think we can get them to join in a formal war, I guess. And just like that, we have everyone just hopping in on the Americans right now, pretty much the Germans of this universe. After this, we're going to go masonry into campus writing, just so we can get enough science, because Teddy's already at 76 per turn. We'll hit next turn. All we really need right now is money in order for us to upgrade our units. We don't necessarily have a lot of that. I will end up trading away most of this Diplo favor to Canada to get a little bit of money, and then we could trade away for no, we're not trading away for iron. We're going to upgrade this first settler, and then we're going to wait till we can get more. Over here, I am going to get a trader just so we can get a little bit of extra gold. And after we do get masonry, we'll go ahead and actually buy a battering ram. I think one swordsman will probably be enough. Tear down the walls of Baltimore, and then from there, we will continue advancing towards American territory. It's pretty much going to be the goal. I am going to focus on some of the more administrative stuff because not a lot of the time you're going to have a prime opportunity like the Americans just bent over, asshole gaping, begging you to put it in and take all their cities. We're going to go ahead and settle this city of Linkoping. Again, turn 7, and we have about 5 cities, which is fine. Get the monument as is tradition, and then from here we are going to get mysticism to get the free envoy. Next up, I am also going to take Pingala for a boost to science and culture and just send him in my second city until my city of Stockholm is done building settlers. We're going to go ahead right now and choose our government reform. You have 2 options for the most part. You can go political philosophy or classical republic. Now, the difference between both is the fact that oligarchy really helps you with melee units towards a war like we have, whereas classical republic is much better when it comes to just administrative stuff, just building up your empire, because you get great people points in housing and amenities. I'd really only recommend Autocracy for a one-city challenge or when you're playing someone like China, where you really like that wonder production. In any case, I am going to go for oligarchy, conscription to help save up some money, urban planning for production, aggregate for unit production, colonization for settling. That seems like a nice early policy card choice. In any case, right here in Stockholm, we are going to go ahead and go for the Ancestral Hall like we said we would, and then continue building settlers until our nose runs dry. After that, we'll hit next turn. We are going to wait for Canada and Mexico City to do some damage while we sit in the back, just building up our empire a little bit, just getting ready to penetrate and take out the rest of America quickly. There's mysticism. It doesn't seem like anything was damaged for the most part, so that's nice. Envoy-wise, I will also get suzerainty of Singapore just to get a little exploration going on in the north. 10 cities by turn 100 is hard, and if you are going for some early domination, it is a little harder. But as long as you can get something like 8 cities by turn 100 or something like that, you can be fine for the most part. You'd have to repair the government plaza due to the damage as well. In any case, we are pretty much waiting for a couple of turns in order for us to get a battering ram in 7 turns, and we will give you the most production possible to Stockholm so we can get that in 6 turns. Here in this city, we are also going to go ahead and get a settler in 19 turns because we are going to need to get as many cities as possible. 10 cities by turn 100, again, for the most part, guarantees you a win in my opinion. I've almost never lost a game where I have had 10 cities by turn 100, although some of you might differ. Again, do what you want. This is obviously all just my opinion. We can already upgrade another warrior right now, and I think 2 swordsmen is more than enough in order for us just to take out Baltimore. Go for currency next because commercial hubs are insanely valuable and should for the most part be the second district you should build after a campus. Over here now in the city of Uppsala, I am going to wait till I can get the +2 campus location. So I think right here we are going to go ahead and probably actually... we'll probably actually just trade some of this to Canada because they are going to take Diplo favor up the ass. Trade whatever you can, of course, because just trading as many resources as you can gives you gold in order for you to do things like getting early campuses. And with this guy, I am going to go ahead and get that stone. With the rest of these, I am going to start moving my units up as sort of forward observers. Levy the units if you want to. It doesn't really do much, and they have crossbowmen. Well, that definitely puts a damper on our plans now, does it? When the AI gets crossbowmen, you're pretty much like fucked. They're at 98 science per turn. It is turn 83. I was kind of late with the domination a little bit, mainly because I only had 1 source of iron and didn't boost bronze working. It does kind of help, but it really is what it is for the most part. I kind of am, I guess, not happy, but sort of, I don't know. I guess it would sort of make things a little too easy if I did end up taking them with, taking up their cities, I guess, without any sort of, stoppage, if that makes sense. No one ended up stopping me. We'll build another settler over there. So yeah, I'm going to continue, see if I can take out that crossbowman, and maybe everyone else is on another front or something, although I'm pretty much snorting the copium right now, so I highly doubt it. But yeah, we are going to continue moving up right now. There are the crossbowmen. I'm hoping with oligarchy we'll be able to do something here. Maybe send these guys in as bait if I can, and then it's only 32 combat strength. We could definitely take out the city if we do wait a little while. I'm going to move up there and get ready to be upgraded. You're going to skip your turn. He is going to move up there, and I don't think there's really much I can do at this stage. They are looking absolutely too strong, unless, of course, this crossbowman doesn't really do anything to me. So you're going to move up there. You're going to move up there. Hopefully we'll try baiting him in a little bit more. I'm going to also go military tradition in order to get flanking bonuses. Should have probably done that a little bit while earlier. But again, I really don't have too high hopes for this just because they do have crossbowmen already. I will go ahead right here and buy this in order for us to get more production on the pasture tile. We'll end up next turn in it right now, and they do have pikemen again, and even though I get a boost towards pikemen, there's still an entire era ahead of me. So what I think I'm going to do right now, since he's at war with everyone, is I'm just going to white peace with him right now. He still is at war with a lot of people, but there's really no chance I'm ever going to have to end up taking them out. I will keep this military, of course, and I do sort of like how this war didn't work out, mainly because I am sort of at a disadvantage. I'm not going to help you. You're already strong enough. So we are in a dark age right now. The next best thing to do right now is to end up infinite settler spamming. We do have the Ancestral Hall coming out in 4 turns over here. And I think I am going to swap back to give you some food. And then you over here can actually swap out with you to get that. And then you can go ahead to get that, and we'll get that settler in about 12 turns. After that, we are going to go Monumentality because we are going to be building some districts soon. And we're also going to go Mathematics because the Petra is absolutely huge. We'll go Military Training to get another Envoy as well. So when it comes to units, I'm going to just go ahead and start spreading them towards the corner just in case barbarians start coming up out of nowhere and we have some sort of early defense against them. We have 5 cities by turn 88, double great people points. This is almost always scientists. This really doesn't matter. I guess you could try to get the AI or whatever, but unless you know what the thing resolution is going to be, then 99% of the time you are just going to guess. Teddy Roosevelt has captured Osaka. I'm going to join in the emergency because Canada definitely is, as is the Civ that is going to declare war on him. And just like that, we meet the other 2 Civs of Suleiman as well as Japan. And now because of that, that means we have multiple people on our side with Wilfrid Laurier and Christina, and we all get combat strength against Teddy. Now, the reason I did that is because it does sort of like cuck Teddy a little bit, and with Canada in the game, they are almost always going to get the emergency to pass, so there is also that. Not only that, but we can get a reliable alliance with Canada now that we've joined an emergency, all with us having really nothing to do against Teddy, just watching them get absolutely bent over. Make friends with Japan. Due to the sheer Irish luck I have, it does appear that I have ran out of disk space, and I did finish the video, realized I fucked up, and decided I had to go back to turn 91, but we're back. Over here, we're going to go ahead and make friends with the Seppuku Master himself. And yeah, the reason I did that for the most part, I don't know if I already explained it or not. If I did, just fucking skip ahead, I don't give a shit, is because of the fact that America right now is going to have to deal on multiple fronts, and with everyone just going after them and the fact that Japan has their own units, then we should be able to hem them in and pretty much cripple them for the rest of the game. Not only that, but we also get visibility of around the map, which is also nice. Looking around right now, we don't have too many other places to settle right now, unless we do want to pull a European and just end up taking out the natives, which might honestly not be the worst thing in the world. But yeah, we're only going to have about, it seems, 5 more cities max, and we already only have 5, so that is going to be a little bit of an issue. But I like it. If you guys do want me to continue with the next 100 turns, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll show you what to do in around the mid-game location. For right now, here in Stockholm, I am going to go ahead and get started on a settler, and we could talk about secret societies, or you could go ahead and get researcher for Pingala if you want to, although I would recommend going for connoisseur first if you haven't gotten, for example, political philosophy yet, because that is huge. Let's talk about secret societies. There's 4 of them: Owls of Minerva, Hermetic Order, Void Singers, and the fucking succubus one, the vampire one, that one. For that, you really depends what you're going for. If you're going for domination or science victory, going for the vampires is probably your best bet, just for the sheer volume of absolute CivLifeR giga chattery going on when it comes to vampire castles and the yields they can provide. If you're going for any sort of faith generation, I'd go Void Singers, mainly because they do have the tier 2 chorus, which turns 15% of your faith into science, culture, and gold, which is so huge for any victory type. It absolutely dumbfounds me that the developers put that in this game, until I realized they were the same people who thought Babylon was a good idea. Next up, we got Hermetic Orders, and I could disgust you by deciding to shit as hard and loud in front of the mic as possible to illustrate how terrible the Hermetic Order Society is, but I'm not going to. And then finally, we got Owls of Minerva, which is really just the average secret society if you don't have any others. Gives you economic slots, wildcard slots, and extra spies, so it's really good for science as well. For now, though, I think I am going to go for researcher with Pingala, just because it does seem like it is the best situation to go for, if that makes any sense right now. We're going to go ahead and get some gold right now, and we're going to try to trade as much as we can to Canada. We'll trade open borders, but no one wants them, so that kind of sucks. I think what I'm going to do here, because of my war with Teddy, I wasn't able to build up the empire. A lot of the times, instead of building units like I did, you do want to build 1 or 2 settlers. I will buy a couple of them right now, and I will also end up going for, right after military training, feudalism in order to get the serfdom policy card for extra build actions. But yeah, I kind of like that I sort of failed in the war against Teddy. I did end up screwing up a lot for the most part. I ended up going for archery instead of ironworking because I wanted a more safe average start, I guess, because a lot of the times it's better to not have the opportunity to go after someone than it is for you to be caught with your pants down, shirt out, nipples lactating or whatever without any archers for defense. So a lot of the times, again, go for ironworking immediately, get bronze working and ironworking boosted unlike I did, and hopefully have better RNG than me and be able to get a couple iron tiles as early on as possible, or have a unique unit that requires 5 or 10 iron. That makes things a lot easier. We'll hit next turn right now. Now, what I'm going to do with this guy is I am going to go ahead and chop that and get that Petra City immediately afterwards. We are about 7 turns away from the end of the video. Again, let me know down below if you want me to talk about the next 100 turns again, and if you found this video useful, of course. I'm going to go ahead and move the settler to settle that Petra City over there. And then here in Oreboro, we are also going to go ahead and get started. There's a +3 campus over there. So again, I am going to continuously trade all the resources I can to everybody in order for me to get that plus campus. On that, that's absolutely huge. We'll hit next turn. This is around the point of the game where you are going to want to get settlers and your campuses out as fast as possible. I'm going to send this settler over there, and then same thing in Stockholm. Wait for 80 gold. I'll probably just shift enter right now because production does carry over. So if you don't produce something, you get the production for the next turn. Next up, we are going to go to Antony Navarro just to help us get a little bit more culture. So, for example, if I shift enter here, the 13th production is going to be available for the next part. And, hey, don't know what the hell that archer's doing there, but we might as well back out a little bit. And then now we have a little bit more production towards the campus, and we can get the campus tile we wanted in the first place. You're going to go ahead and get some of that sugar, and I don't think I have irrigation yet. Y'all can piss the fuck off for all I care. All right, you're absolutely taking it up the ass right now. But how is he able to move and attack? That doesn't make too much. Oh, I moved up on a hill. I'm still in range. That's probably why. In any case, we're going to move up there soon, and we can go for irrigation. And now you can go there, and in a couple turns, I'll be able to get some sugar. And we'll trade things later on. Again, don't worry about it too much for right now. And again, try to get as much gold as possible if you don't need any of it, just because getting builders everywhere is absolutely huge. We'll be able to get one next turn. Make friends with Canada because we did join the emergency and eventually a research alliance, so trade routes to Canada end up giving science for us, which is huge. You're going to stay fortify. You are going to move there because I feel like, well, I felt like that the catapult was still chasing after us. Guess I was dead wrong. You skip your turn, we hit next turn, and just like that, there are about 2 turns left. Only making 19 science and 15 culture, but again, we are going to have about 7 cities by turn 100, which is really more than you can ask for the most part, which is great. After irrigation, the next best thing you want to do is we're going to go as if we were going to win a science victory. The reason for that is I feel like science is probably the best thing you could go for when you're new to deity, or really any victory type. It's straightforward, build campuses, build spaceship parts, and research a certain amount of techs. We'll go industrial zones first into education for universities. From there, you'll want to go industrialization for the Ruhr Valley and coal power plants. Then you want to go research labs, into rocketry, and then into all the spaceship parts you want. Production-wise here, we're just going to go for a monument as we were going, and then we'll hit next turn, play turn 100, and then end off the video. And yeah, again, we do have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cities by turn 100, although we are super locked in right now, so it is a little bit of a problem. Get a corporation in there, end up trading that tea, end up trading some of that sugar, and then with that, we are going to come here and start building builders almost everywhere to help build everyone up, I guess. Here, don't build a campus near the active volcano. You'll be repairing it for the entire game. And the first thing this city is going to do is it's going to immediately go out with the Petra, and it's also going to buy this tile because it's absolutely juicy thick and helps us get everything a lot faster. But yeah, that was pretty much going to be the video. It's a decent start. I would have loved to have more settlers, although the early war against Teddy Roosevelt, the 2 early wars, kind of ended up having us with our dick in our hands for the most part. But again, like and subscribe if you do enjoy, and check out this video in the upper right corner for more. Peace.